Well,
You good
these.
for intros, or are you still dealing with
I
the?
was gonna say, yeah, I'll just start this up. Starting the top left corner of the map, it's gonna be Properties Hob trying to bring it back as the Blue Zerg.
All right. His opponent down in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, currently with 2 kills to his name. It is Vega's Bunny, spawning as the Purple Terran.
And Vega does have 2 wins, guys. So let me just fix that real quick. Done. Cool. Excellent. And Bunny, I don't know, he's kind of displayed that he's willing to do some weird stuff. I mean, that barracks placement kind of really indicated something was going to happen, but I think the scouting really threw him off on that.
Hmm.
And I mean, Properties had 2 games now to watch Bunny, to kind of see what's up.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll find, like, oh, the way he builds, maybe we'll catch him in the mid game this time. Maybe the Zerg player will do some sort of rush, who knows? Or he could just be trying to get to that late game, which has not really happened for Bunny's opponents prior to this one.
He plays a pretty safe style, but it's also pretty economical. So it's not like he's cutting. Oh, this is going to be a economic 2 racks, I'm assuming.
Yeah, the forward positioning on this too, like, I don't think a lot of people appreciate until you've tried doing this as Terran. Like, not building your barracks up here, the ramp, the walk, the curve, I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot of time, but it actually saves quite a bit of
Yeah,
time.
it is.
And the drone scale will find this though, and that's a little unfortunate. But again, Bunny, he's not really cutting too much to make this happen, so it's not like he's gonna be, oh great, you found me, I'm screwed now.
Yeah.
Of course, that would be the case if this was more of a proxy 2-racks, but not so much.
The orbital command is just ever so slightly delayed. Interesting that he didn't get the 14th SCV before beginning that second barracks, going for 13 instead. Don't think I've ever seen that before, but unlike the 1111, you can actually get full SCV production off of it. So he's not down and out if this doesn't work or get a fair number of kills.
Well, SCVs are up on the front lines, and
Now,
he's
how
gonna.
many drones are we gonna see Hot pull?
I don't know, but He's got to be happy to see that hatchery, man. It's really disconcerting to come up, try and do a strategy like this, and be like, oh, so there's not a hatchery. Like, what's gonna happen? But positioning this barracks a little perfect. I don't know if you noticed, he did micro that SV off
Yeah.
temporarily, cancel build so he could stay in the back and not
And
get
here
picked
comes the
off.
first Marine. This bunker will need to be cancelled. He
Yeah.
does mineral walk the SCV out of there, however.
Both those drones are pulled, but this
Oh,
did
this is
buy
so...
time for Zerglings.
Yeah, this is a lot of reduced mining time, but very nice by Hob to actually get both of those drones out there, albeit at very low health points.
Yeah, kind of a cat and mouse game right now. Marie's coming from the other side though. Little too
Patrol.
catty, not enough mousy.
No. Oh,
Now the
I think I could
problem,
have actually saved them,
actually,
but
the sacrifice of those 2 drones though almost worth it because
it
it bought
stalled.
him all that time. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got a spine crawler come down. There's about 8 Zerglings on the field.
The spine crawler will still be pretty close. He needs to pull his drones yet again. If Bunny does go straight up here and try to kill the spine crawler, he needs to buffer until that gets up. Although with the queen out now, he should be in a pretty good spot to defend this. He even has a couple lings going back into the base of Bunny.
There's some nice little hit and run going on right now. Microing the low marines to the back, but the spine crawler still. Oh, it's nearing completion.
Has yet to lose a marine. Very nicely done.
Yeah, perfect micro going on right now. Bunny with 1 health on one of these marines even, and that queen's so darn low. Would have been nice if he could have caught that and gotten out, but Zerglings at
Command
home.
center. Yeah, it is being a little bit delayed here. Hob does even manage an SCV kill.
Yeah, and
And
pulling a
even
lot
more,
of SCVs as well.
yeah, mining time.
Yeah, marines out in the field though. These three Zerglings.
That'll
Not
be
gonna
the end
too
of
much
it.
problem.
Oh, they will, however, get up into the main. Nope.
I feel like
Yeah.
this is one of those times where David could make like a Terran Chronicles moment off of stuff like this.
So I'm really interested to see whether he goes into bio or mech from here. There are 2 kind of agreed upon follow-ups to this.
Oh wow,
Oh, holy shit.
4 command centers.
Yeah.
Talk about ballsy from Bunny right now. But I guess
I
after
would
not.
imagine he's going siege mode. That's the only thing that can really defend this just overt greed. Blue Flame is great. Additional barracks are great, but barracks delays your tech to the point where you can pretty much rely on doing like a whoa.
Well then,
This is interesting on Ohana. Like
this is, yeah, I guess he wants to make up that lost time, or at least take a huge lead over the Zerg player, but I do want to point out, forcing 8 Zerglings early on, I mean, okay, it's just larva loss, sure, but I mean, you want those to be drones this early in the game. Plus a spine crawler, plus those 2 drones earlier. I mean, it doesn't feel like it because his marines kind of didn't get to get in there, but Bunny did a lot of early damage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Alright, so we do see this double gas following up, and a third barracks to finish off this choke. There is a Baneling nest coming down in additional Zergling production, however. Speed's going to be timed out pretty well by the time that the Lings get down here to morph into Banelings. If he survives this, he wins the game outright. There's
Just
no...
Yeah,
Yeah,
5 command centers is ridiculous.
Yeah, 5 mules, it's just... It doesn't even matter the fact that he's on 2 mining bases. His income is just going to be able to get
Actually, as soon as these
severely,
all... I'm just going to leave the income tab open as soon as these all become orbitals.
But here comes the all-in out of Hob. And there are no bunkers going down. I don't quite understand that. No, here we go, here we go.
You know,
Alright.
Bunkers coming down, but again,
micro at this point.
barracks are very freaking sturdy. I mean, these are going to take those Baneling hits. This isn't like a
That's a lot of
supply
Banelings, dude. 12.
Very true, and he's got more that could potentially be made. We'll see what he's trying to do.
Oh, I really like this reaction. How does he... Let's see. He has very limited scouting information. I guess this is simply defensive.
Well, I guess when you're going for 5 barracks, man, you kind of like don't have a choice. But the timing on this is a little too good, a little too perfect. Oh gosh, all the Banelings.
The Lings will clean up the remainder of this lone barracks, and the
and
second one goes down as well.
Supply depot at the top was not up, and he's gonna lose his mineral line. And Bunny, oh my goodness, Hob even throwing those Banelings. Yeah.
A nice micro with the SCVs.
Here's the thing, though. He can pick off a lot of the SCVs, but let's not forget, there's 5 command centers.
Yeah, he needs to take care of the Banelings.
Oh, and the gate at the front still hasn't been closed. A little unfortunate.
There are 4 Marines there, however, and with not the greatest Baneling detonations in the world. Oh, wow. The SCV count is ridiculously low at this point. 30 workers killed so far. We have Bunny down to 8 SCVs. And this bunker wall is more than enough to deter any additional reinforcements.
It's a tower defense game at this point. I mean, that's all it really is. But I mean, Hob did what he needed to do, and he did a lot of freaking damage in the process. Again, look at 31 total worker kills at the end of things. Now, granted, mules are actually helping keep the economy afloat right now.
More than afloat. Eventually, we'll see.
Actually, in a second or two, that should catch up entirely. It's just the gas production that's down at the moment.
I'd imagine at least 1,200 mineral income for a little bit there. Double Evo Chamber is coming down from the Zerg right now. We have a layer just nearly complete, and this third base coming down as well, working on the rocks. So all in all, Hob's in a pretty good spot. His tech is ridiculously delayed, but his opponent hasn't really been able to mine all that much gas so far. And now he really needs the minerals, so he's going to primarily put the SCVs on those mineral patches instead of the gas geysers.
This is one of those very few times where a player can pull off something like a crazy all-in, cause this much worker damage, and have it not matter, because when in the world do you ever see 5 command centers down on the map? Look at the worker tab right now. I mean, Bunny almost already catching up. Like, look at this, 29, 30 workers. Oh my goodness, this is insane. He's actually got way more than the Zerg thanks to those mules.
But he's going to mine out these bases ridiculously fast. I mean, this is going from like a 13-minute mine out to like 7 or 8, if he does continue to throw down mules here. There is some point, once he gets saturated enough, that he should just stop calling down mules in order to get them down at the 3rd. Because right now he really needs another base. Not for gas, just so that he doesn't mine himself out this early on in the game.
And I'm a little curious on your take on this, because just thinking like what just happened, I mean, with that huge Bane all-in, etc. Bunny's reaction to this, do you think it was like, okay, you know what, my bunker placement didn't go down, every typical reaction is to go for a counter all-in, be it Roaches or Banelings, or do you think it was just blind pure luck?
I don't know. It may have been luck. The timing was a little bit delayed, but pretty much spot on to any sort of like Roach Bane follow-up.
Yeah, the bunkers
that
were
was
just
really
barely made in time. Though. But, oh, look at this. We actually have... We're talking about trying to get a base out so he doesn't mine out. Not going to happen for at least 2+ minutes.
Yeah.
Overlord creep starting at both these base locations. That's going to be a little annoying to have to deal with.
Now he's getting his upgrades, though. The E-base have finished. 1-1 is around 1/3 complete. Ooh. He's fully saturated now at this point as well.
Yeah, but we have Pathogen Glands and Bane Speed both nearing completion. And with a Bio Army... That's not what you want.
I would imagine he's going to try and go for a time in the second that Bunnies puts down his 3rd base. And he is actually floating it out right now. The rocks have yet to be cleaned up, though. I like the fact that he's kept the majority of the bunkers up here. I'd imagine he'll salvage a couple and even extend the bunkers down into the third location. That would be the safe play, considering he does not yet have siege mode.
Yeah, and oh, look at
Or
Phoebe
Metapex.
kind of, or sorry, not Phoebe. Wow, Hob massing up an army down here. I mean, it's small right now, but it's growing quick because he did get that chance to get that third, and not only a third, but now a fourth going down. And the longer this goes unhindered, I mean, he's just gonna take Bunny in the late game. It feels. He doesn't have the upgrades going for him right now. I mean, he's only got 1-1, hasn't really been okay. Just now starting level 2 Carapace, but I mean, late game Terran versus late game Zerg is usually a little in the Zerg's favor unless, you know, there's a lot of distraction and micro, etc. But Hob, I mean, with that Baneling all in, getting himself back into this game, I think he's setting himself up very nicely with this fourth base.
Yeah, we do have a Spire and a Hive coming down now too. The fourth base is down. The creep is the one thing that really suffers from any all-in. And
Ooh.
we're seeing, I mean, 15 minutes into the game, the creep should already be to the watchtower of your opponent's base.
74 Marines on the field, and that's it right now, Panda. This is
Yeah.
this is a very susceptible to Baneling and Fungal army, is what this is. No medevac support, nothing. I mean, he can stim, sure, but that's just going to make them die a little bit faster.
Yeah. I mean, the upgrades, the melee upgrades are a little bit behind, but that's because of the way that the early game kind of unraveled. I mean, with the macro hatch up, he's going to have 5 bases worth of larva production. The Greater Spire is already morphing. And, I mean, his split with the Marines isn't going to do a whole lot once his opponent does decide to commit. I mean, medevac production is just so ridiculously far behind. He has the reactor complete just now, 1 medevac on the field.
Yeah, and I kind of like that he might be sensing some Banelings, but nothing's nearby. He did have that pre-spread in case he wasn't caught paying attention, but salvaging those forward bunkers, siege tanks, and siege production on the way. But, oh man, this is just so many Marines with only 2 medevacs for them. I feel a little bad.
This is a pretty nice timing, however, that Bunny is hitting.
Oh, and a Burrowed Zergling actually will catch all of this happening, and
Yeah, he needs to be really careful about engaging up this choke point, though. There are 5 infestors
oh, and
there.
they have tons of energy for Fungals. Baneling knocking out those first couple forward Marines, but again, here's that Fungal helping clean this up. Oh, Fungal holding so many of these Marines in place for those Banelings to make those connects, but Bunny sending in squadron after squadron, not at all inning, so he's not losing too many of his forces here.
Here come the infestors. Very little Zergling support, though.
More importantly,
And the
there's very
infestors
little.
are actually
There's
dying
no
here.
medevac. And look at these Marines just popping in the back. Fungal's doing
He
their
needs to step
job.
forward now and try and snipe some of those infestors now that they cannot fungal again.
Oh, and all 74 Marines, only 2 remaining. Sorry, 5 remaining.
Yeah.
But that number's going
Behind
down.
us, there is a 4th base in production for the Terran. He is sending another hit squad down to his opponent's watchtower, but the Greater Spire is complete now. 3-3 and Adrenal Glands have yet to start.
A 4th
but-
base? So what's that, like 9 command centers?
Yep, pretty much.
But Bunny actually not letting up with the aggression, and unfortunately Hob used a lot of his energy holding off that first wave, but there's tons of Marines and Zerglings.
Ouch. That was just decimation. And he saw the Broodlords there. That's a pretty good scout. He has yet to scan his opponent's main at this point.
Yeah, only 1 starport with a reactor on it, so we're not going to see Viking production, at least not in high gear yet. I mean, Marines...
He's going to rely on primarily Marines to try and get...
He's got to get under them, but with those
Yeah.
infestor support, I mean, that's not going to be an easy task. Fungal, it doesn't need to kill the Marines, just has to hold them in place.
He's actually going out for 2 drops right now, pulling the large majority of his anti-air away from his base, which I don't think is the greatest decision in the world, considering the fact that his opponent is going to look to counterpush at this time. Oh, and the Overlord survives all of that. Ugh.
3
HP
health,
left.
which means the Crusade will start again, and that is painful to say the least, Panda.
Yeah.
But look at this, we got Banelings coming underneath. I mean, there's no creep, but, you know, they got the speed upgrade. There's Broodlords, there's Infestors. This is, I don't know, Bunny's primarily Marine army doesn't feel like it will be enough to handle this.
Yeah, we saw a similar situation over the weekend at the Lone Star Clash in that final game between Stefano and Bomber on this map. It was similar tech delay from Bomber due to a little bit of feigned early aggression. It's not to this severe extent, but
And that
this many
hatchery,
Marines, this few medevacs.
Oh,
Barely any Vikings on the field right now in response to a lot of Broodlords, and Infestors just continuing to build up energy.
Panda. So like we had a drop whenever they got cleaned up hatcheries live, but look at this at the fourth base location for Bunny. He did finally pick up that Overlord, but two Zergly snuck in and burrowed, and this is just
That's
gonna.
awesome.
If this
Yeah.
isn't driving him crazy, I don't know what is. All right, well we do have the Terran army moving across the field, nearly maxed out. I think Hob, if microed correctly, does have the capability to hold this off, but I mean this is not going to be easy by any means.
Oh, I would consider this severely in favor of the Zerg. If he engages on creep, once the Zerg player overextends, it's a completely different story. But now I think at this point, Bunny's just trying to position for his fourth base to go down. See if he can get it engaged on good terms, if he can take it. Oh no, he's actually going straight up onto the creep.
Yeah, no scams, not taking out these creep tumors. I mean, Hob knows it's coming. Unfortunately, the Broodlords are across the map right now, but getting drawn away.
Yeah, here comes two additional starports, and Bunny's actually saturated this other 4th/5th location down in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, and Hob is playing very, very passive, but he's not taking his own 5th, getting a spine crawler wall, some of the stuff that we normally see. There is an Ultralisk Cavern coming down behind this, and those Infestors, yeah, they just keep building up energy, but the Viking count's getting pretty high at this point.
Well, I guess that's kind of what you want to do, have your opponent make a ton of Vikings, because Ultralisks will eat Marines for breakfast. And Vikings, of course, not the greatest things against Ultralisks.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how this plays out. Both players are nearing max, so we may see a push soon.
Hob knows he has to do something at this point, but again, the creep is gonna delay him a little bit because it's not spread all that well.
Yeah, you really need it at way past watch side at this point, quite frankly, to do give speed to those Banelings, but oh, tank siege.
Well, the Vikings are way overextended here. A fungal does go down the majority of them, and
a couple more fungals plus these corruptors with no anti-air remaining, only Marines. Yeah, looks like Bunny is forced to pull back for now, but will he?
And
lose
he can use
tanks?
this to zone his opponent and just decimate this 5th base over here.
Oh, and a big problem is right now he is rallying Vikings in two at a time, and you have to kind of bank those up. Corruptor is very annoying to deal with, of course.
Yeah. Finally, we have a 5th base coming down from Hob here.
And our Terran player is sitting around 68 workers. I mean, with how many planetaries, or sorry, orbitals have been on the field, I feel like he doesn't really need that many SCVs.
Hob must not know about the 5th base here. The last vision he had of it is when he creeped it. And this drop in the 3rd base is actually doing a ridiculous amount of damage. This might force Hob to commit.
Oh, but no, the Baneling does help clean that up a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, but the Queen being
But those
chased
Marines
off.
Pretty stalwart there.
Yeah,
Oh, and here comes Hob pushing forward. He does have a couple Queens for transfusion, but primarily Infestors being the damage-dealing spellcasters.
And tanks being forced to unsiege. Really, you know, it's a smart choice, but you hate having to do that because that's going to allow your opponent to move up.
Yeah. Pretty nice spread on the Vikings and the Marines. It's just, when he commits, these Banelings and these Infestors are just going to do so much damage.
Oh, and Fungal trying to catch units, but only getting 2 Vikings out of that. But these Broodlings, man, free units are good as they are just decimating the Marines.
Yeah. Alright, so here comes the stim forward. With all of the SCVs from the 3rd base, however, nice Fungals go down.
Oh, and with those Fungals.
Other Banelings connect and everything gets destroyed. Despite the nearly 2k bank, there's absolutely no way Hob is going to give a chance for his opponent to try and reproduce this in time. And this should be game. So Hob does take out Vega, bringing it to 2-2. And